Okay, hello everyone and welcome to today's show. Today we're gonna keep coding on our framework, our JavaScript framework for creating command line interfaces. We started with this last episode, and if you haven't seen that already, I will leave a link in the description field. So this will be a decorator-based JavaScript framework. So we design it for the programmer to use when creating a command line interface. And we start our project by doing npm start. And as of now, the code doesn't do much, which shows to the screen anyhow. I will use Sociopath to connect to the server so we can edit the code live in VS Code. So we go to code and etc. and framework. Let's go up one level and open the whole directory in editor. That way we can control everything from VS Code, and it will sync with the server through SCP automatically. Okay, so the code we have done thus far is our index.ts, which is our one and only file. We will put everything in this file. If we were to publish this as a real app or library, we would of course divide it by several files. But since I'm only showing you how this can be done, I will do a minimized version of it. Okay, so here is just comments how we can use this framework. So framework will be changed to the name of the application. Let's say that Nest.js, for example, implements this in their new release. Then they might have something like Nest build all or Nest run dev perhaps, or something like that. So these commands, build and all and dev, they are coming from these decorators, or that's a plan anyhow. So we have a controller, which is a class that the programmer defines, and you give it a name, the same name that we will have right here. So the first level of the CLI. Then we have several methods, which are called commands, and we define them as well together with the controller. So that's how it's done, and then each method can of course have arguments like usual, and those will also be available right here. So it's very easy for the programmer to create this CLI, and if the user does a command like nest build all, then this method or function will run, and the output will go directly to the user. Very easy. So we want to build a state object similar to this, where we have a level for the controller, and then we have the different commands with an associated function, and this function will point to the method. But in order to create this, because the order the decorators are interpreted by the JavaScript engine, it's not optimal for creating this. And I'm going to show you that in a little bit. So we will have to do this middle step in between that will be removed after it's been used. Okay, so what's our next step? We want to use this temporary dummy structures in order to be able to run these commands. So that's our first task. We're going to base them solely on our manually created state. When that is working, we will empty all the state and trying to recreate it only based on the info from these decorators. Okay, so first of all, we need to have some kind of main function. Let's do it like this. We will have a main, and we are going to point that towards a function like this, and we will use this as an iffy. So we will do this. So this function returns a function which will be run directly. And in here we can put our state variable, which we haven't named, I think, or did we? Let's state, yes, here it is. And we also need to comment out these decorators for the time being because we haven't created them as of yet. Like this. Okay. So what do we want to happen? We do want something more in this main function actually, and that is our arguments from the command line. And those will be process dot env dot I always forget this line. Process env arg. Is this right? Let's try it out. Console.log. Let's do it like this. Like that. And then we run our code. npm run build and npm start. And let's run it this way as well so we can try out the command line arguments a little bit easier. So it's /index JS, and let's do arg1, arg2. No, that's not the right one. So process. And as I told you before, I haven't prepared this before, so I want you to follow me through the entire process. But I'm sure we will end up with a nice framework. npm run build. Okay, so here we are. It's an array containing 1, 2 arguments that we don't care about. Okay, so now that it works as intended, we can continue building our CLI framework. So now we are taking care of the arguments, and we have successfully put the controller in here and the command in here, etc. So the next step is to verify, to see if what the user has input is matching our classes. So let's say this is what the user does. Let me just see what we did. As an example, we did build all, build dev. So let's say the user runs CLI build all. Okay, so we want to check that this build is inside our state object, and the same with this command here, that we can find it inside right here. And then we will use this function, call this function. So step 1, 2, 3, so to say. First step, let's verify that there is a match. So if the user specified controller sorry, is inside state, it should be it, right? State and then build right here, yeah. So if we do get a match, I think we'll do this as a couple of nested if statements. Perhaps we can clean it up a little bit afterwards. And yeah, if controller is in state, I will add a couple of console log messages as well, just temporarily, so we know if it's a match. Let's do controller matches state. And the next thing we want to check is that if the command yeah, I think we will do it like this. If command is inside of state and controller. This should be it, I think. And then we can copy this. Then we can copy this line. It's annoying when the shortcut keys that you're used to isn't configured. I'm on my Mac currently, so I don't have the exact same configuration. Okay, so then we change this to command matches state, and if it does match state, then we want to, let's see, so this matches, and then we want to run this function. Let's create a variable for that function. Let fn so fn will be equal to state controller command F. A lot of levels there. So this is what we'll check. Let's do something like this as well. Fn equals null. And after this if statement, we'll do another and we'll check if Fn is still null. And then we want to error out. So return, what did we call it? Error like this? No? Let's see. We did create the function, I think, yeah, just error. And I will just do a temporary error message at the moment. So return error controller or command not found. No. Command not found. Like this. But if we do have a function, we can do a second check, by the way. If type of function is equal to function, then we will also, if it's not a function, then something weird has gone wrong, and I'll just say error. Okay, so now we can be sure that the fn is pointing towards a function, the actual method inside of this class. So it's this one. Now we'll just call this method with the arguments, the rest arguments that we have right here. So then we'll do something like return function args. Okay, let's see if this works. let's do it again without this. npm run build. And first we'll start node index.js without any arguments. Oh, should be a dot there. Okay, bad input. Then we do ABC. Bad input, ABC, ABC. Command not found. Now we're getting somewhere. What if we were to do the correct controller? So build and then ABC. Build matches state. That's interesting. So that part works. Error, command not found, that's okay. And if we do build without, we do just get bad input. And now we'll do the command that should work. Build all. Build matches state, all matches state, error. Okay, interesting. It still didn't work though. So fn equals state, controller, command F. Controller, command F. We haven't pointed the function yet. Alright. That's right. So we need to do two things. First of all, our methods need to be static, so we are able to reference them directly. Like this. And then we will remove this temporary placeholder and put in the function. And this, as you know, this state we have built manually. It will be automatically created from the decorators in a little while. But for now, let's just point to that method, which is, let me see. So the class is build, and then just all. Build.all. Okay, we need to move the declarations before this one. So let's put it right here instead. Okay, and same here. So build.dev. And maybe we should put a message inside that method so we can see that it works. Something along the lines of this. And we can also add args, or just do the first one. Like this. And we will recompile the project. And then we will try this again. Still errors. So node index.js sorry, node index.js build all. Build matches state, build matches state error. Is it my if statement that doesn't go through? It sets fn if fn is not there, so it's not this one, it's this. If type of fn equals function, else if. Sometimes it is those small little annoying errors that could make a lot of troubleshooting. We build again, and third time is the charm. Yes, there we go. Hello from all arg. And what if we were to give them an argument? Howdy. And we get howdy. So now we can access our methods inside of the class if we have a state object well defined. And we can also do build dev, hello from dev. Let's remove those extra console log so we don't forget that. Where were they? Here is one, and here is one, and then we can clean up those if statements like this. Yeah, quite simple and nifty little main function right here. Okay, so this far we have created our base class, which everything is gonna be, it's gonna be the source of truth for everything. And then the state is gonna be built, designed by this class. That's not done yet, we've made it manually. And then we have created the overall infrastructure so we can handle the commands that the users type, and we can leave the control over to the actual methods, and we also give them the arguments. So I think this is gonna be rather good. If we get the decorators to work the way I hope to, I think this will be a very nice and new project. I haven't seen anything like it before, actually. Okay, but I think we are done for today. This has been quite a long episode, even if I remove some of the troubleshooting we did and put it in a separate video. But there will be a last video in this series after all, where we create the decorators, and their job will be to create this state variable, and then we are practically done. Okay, if you like this series, please subscribe for more videos, and so you get a notification when the next episode is released. And thanks for watching, and thanks for today.